Welcome to RickRackRuby. I'm Laura Cluvo. Today we will be making this mini snow gnome Christmas ornament. It's fun and easy, so let's get started. To make our mini snow gnome ornament, we'll start with a wooden spool. This is a little over an inch and it's from Hobby Lobby. And then a 1/4 inch furniture button, also wood and from Hobby Lobby. I'll apply some hot glue to the flat side of the furniture button and apply it to the center of the spool for a nose, like that. You can also use wood glue. And then with a cotton swab, I'm going to add some blush to the nose. That looks good. I always add a little bit of blush to the cheeks, but it really doesn't show. And now I have a 3x5 inch index card, which I am folding in half, and I'm going to wrap it with my beard yarn. This is loopy mohair in a natural color, but you can use any yarn you like. And sometimes I'll say, I wrapped it 30 times or 40 times or whatever, but it really depends on your yarn. And so I'm going to say that just wrap the yarn around the folded card until it gets to the opposite side, and then wrap back. So wrap across and back. I'm sure this will be plenty of yarn for the beard. Now I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch across the center, right through the card. I stitch straight across and back. Now I'm going to reach in and tear out this index card. Now this will become the beard. The center seam will be glued below the nose all the way around the spool. This is plenty of yarn. I'm going to wind up cutting some of this off. I'm going to apply a bead of glue along the spool about halfway between this little rim and the nose, so right along here. I'll show you. So just about like that. And then I'll press the seam into the glue. I'll apply some more glue and continue around to the back. And then I'll just keep pressing the center seam into the glue. Now here, this is all extra. So now my project looks like this. These loops are up, these loops are down, and it's glued along the center. And so for the next step, what I want to do is apply an additional line of glue on top of the seam. And then I'm going to fold this down into that second line of glue. There's the glue, and I just fold it down. If you wanted a longer beard, you can just use a bigger card. And then I'll add glue along here, right on the seam, and folding that top layer down. So it kind of holds it down. And then a little bit more on the side. That looks good. Now let's make the hat. I have removed the cuff from the sleeve of a thrifted sweater. It's an off-white color. It's some kind of a blend. And the edge of the cuff will become the bottom of the hat, because that's a nice finished edge. So I'm going to cut this about 2 inches along the bottom, the finished edge of the cuff, about right to here. That looks right. And then I'll fold this right sides together and stitch it to a point, starting here at the bottom. And then I'm just going to stitch it right up to the top, right here. I stitched it and trimmed it, and now I'm going to turn it right side out. You can see this is a tall, pointy hat. I'm going to use my needle to pull that out all the way to the point. Then I'm going to add a pom-pom. This is from Twine Fabrics. It's a 1/2 inch pom-pom, white. I like to use a variety of shades of white in a project like this. This makes it more interesting. And I'm using a gold and white baker's twine. I'm sewing right through the pom-pom. I can feel it nice and tight through the little wire in the center. And let's see, that looks good. I'm just going to tie it off like this, and then tie an overhand knot at the top. So I'm tying on the pom-pom and creating the hanging loop at the same time. Now let's just make sure this is going to fit. That looks good, but I don't really like this bump where the top of the spool is. So I'm going to add a little bit of stuffing in here to create more of a line instead of just a bulge there. And you know, sometimes you do still see the edge of the spool, but it doesn't have to be quite that obvious. Let's see. That's better. Now I'm going to glue the hat onto the head. And this step it's important to use a lot of glue because the glue that's holding the hat is actually all that's going to support the weight of the ornament when you hang it on your tree. So I'm going to apply the glue to the spool. I'm going to do the back first and then put the hat on and press it into the glue and then work my way around to the front. I used a lot of glue and I got it all the way down to the beard. The seam of the hat goes in the back and I'm getting it all the way down to the top of the beard like that. Now in the front, I want to pull it around like this. I like when there's a little bit of the cheek showing and the brim of the hat makes a little gentle arch like this. So I'm going to put some glue in here on the front and then press the hat into that glue. That looks pretty good. Now for a little decoration on the hat, I have another length of baker's twine. This is the gold and white baker's twine, and I'm going to make a little decoration by wrapping it 3 times. Leave a nice tail. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to tie it off. I've removed the needle, and then I'm going to tie a bow right here. Just a small bow. I'm going to put a little smudge of glue right there in the center of the bow, and then I'm going to press the loop down. I trimmed the streamers, and now I'm going to tie each one, the end of each streamer, into an overhand knot. And now, so that he really looks like a snow gnome, I want to add a little decoration to his hat. I have some options. I have rhinestone snowflakes. I have foam snowflakes, and I have these little stickers. Any one of them will work. I think I'm going to go with the sticker. I'll just go with the silver sticker. I like that. We're going to mix the silver and the gold. Kind of like mixing different shades of white. I also like to mix metallics. Just makes your project more interesting. Now let's have a look. Thank you for watching my tutorial. If you're enjoying my videos, please like, share, and subscribe.